Asset Management, Cowrie Asset Management Limited. On to the markets now. The Nigerian equities market bucked its positive run after 7 consecutive sessions of gains. The benchmark index fell by 0.88%. Well, let's get all the details from Temple Ashaju. Good morning, Temple. The good times didn't last. Profit taking, right?
Absolutely profit taking. Once you have so much of 7 consecutive sessions of gains, as you've talked about earlier, then it gives room for some investors to also quickly edge out of the market and see how they can now make some kind of re-entry strategic position again. And that's the kind of sentiment I think we saw yesterday. If you look at the sectors, you see that the worst hit was the oil and gas segment of the market, and it was really the major reason why the market was down that yesterday, which is now one thing that also brought the month-to-date loss down to some 2.22% yesterday. Basically, the market breadth was negative. You saw some 13 gainers, of course, 18 losers in the market, and some 69 unchanged securities in terms of the performance. If you look at the equity capitalization yesterday, it shed some 101.60 billion naira to settle at 11.4 trillion naira eventually. And the all-share index remained at the 30,732.72 points, moving away from the 31,000 psychological line that the market opened at yesterday. In terms of activity level, we saw a decline in volume by 0.13%, and we saw a decline in value as well by some 16.04%, and deals was just 3,874 in total yesterday, as we saw in the market. Let's look at the segments of the market. The banking segment was down yesterday, 0.14%, sustaining the bearish sentiments that we've seen across board since last week. And of course, Guarantee Trust Bank was a major drag for that. It was down some 0.78%. Diamond Bank also saw some profits taking yesterday, down 0.95%. And of course, Wema Bank down 1.61%. The consumer goods segment was the only sector that remained unchanged yesterday. It was flat, but we saw losses in Transcore that also kept it at that level. Transcore shed some 394 basis points yesterday. Industrial segments of the market was the only one that, of course, was positive yesterday. We've got, of course, insurance segment of the market was also positive, but the industrial goods segment was positive as a result of the gains we saw on CCANN. Dangote Cement was down 2.5% yesterday, but CCANN rose some 7.17% and gained some 22% in the last 3 sessions, now trading at 26 naira 90 kobo. And of course, it's trading at its year high since it has recorded some 39% year to date. So insurance segment of the market continues to see the bullish sentiment has been witnessing from a lot of investors, given the activities around a lot of the companies that you have quoted under that sector. We saw NEM Insurance driving up the gains yesterday by some 4.84%, and of course, the sector overall ended up some 1.51%. Oil and gas drags yesterday by some 4.55% on the losses that we saw on Mobile, that's 11 PLC, Seplat, and of course O&O. And that takes us to the energy markets, where you see corn oil staying flat, Forte oil at flat as well. Then you have 11 PLC that dipped 4.26%. MRS was flat, but you have O&O also doing some 1.12% decline in spite of some 2.481 million units of its shares traded. Seplat in early trades shed about 8% in its share price, and now trading at 530 naira. Total was also around 200 yesterday, but now we saw it at 195 naira. If you look at Etana PLC, Etana was down 225 basis points to 4 naira 35 kobo, and you have a whole lot of other companies tradable under that sector now staying flat, Japol and Co. In terms of the unlisted securities market, we saw a bit of profit taking as well by some 0.54%, and of course you have the volume and the value out there. But then if you look at the bonds and the treasury bills market, it was a mixed grill. You saw mixed trading at the bond side of the market, and of course the treasury bills saw a bit of bullish sentiment. Back to you now, Chimeze.
Thank you, Temple. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will look at real infrastructure development in the country. Do stay with us.